was that process like? Coming out of an HBCU, and now you're being looked at and being sought after from professional team.
Now that I'm old, I didn't know that it was special. I didn't know how unique it was. I'm in the gym and this little dude kept walking by me, shaking my hand. Kept walking by me, shaking my hand. Yo, you done earning mechanics? I'm like, yeah, man, and I'm dapping him up, little weird kid. And he was like, do you know the statistics of you going to the league? And he gives me the exact number. And I'm like, that's when I started calling myself a unicorn. I was like, damn, I guess I am a unicorn. Because he said, you from Baltimore City, you went to Howard County, you went to Delaware State, and you got drafted. And I was like, but as a child, it was just the next step.
Right.
So at 21 years old, I'm like, okay, if I get an opportunity, this is where I'm gonna go, right? Because like I said, I'm gonna say I worked for it. I'm gonna say I earned it. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't given or handed to me. I wasn't, at a big school and, got this. And then even still, a little tip on that, my coach who brought me in said, if I go to Towson, I'm the second round draft pick. But that's a whole nother story. That's right. That's the game. But, I don't want to say I took it for granted, but I thought it was just the progression. I had an opportunity. One, I'm a bigger, faster, stronger athlete. So it kind of went hand in hand.
And so Denarian would always ask me, yo, you gonna come work out with me? So he would go in there by himself.
So he was dedicated.
That's what I'm saying. He would, because we ran track together also.
Got okay.
So he would be like, yo, you wanna go to the weight room? Because he knew I would work out, but I could never get strong because of the way my body was built.
Okay.
My metabolism, and we didn't have a nutrition program.
Like a strength, right? Yeah, strength conditioning coach.
The condition, we didn't really have
it was
that.
going off the muscle or some
Our plan was, we have this sheet that says you came at 8 in the morning,
left at 9:30. You could have been sitting on the bench picking your toes.
No, I was there in the morning, coach. Like, that was, as long as you ate, that was our
real dedicated program to say, like, all right, you here, we won't need you to be at this weight for your position, the scheme.
No supplements. All that was on your dime. No.
Right. All on your dime. And then what's his name? Vince. Remember Vince, Turn Sigma?
That's my dude.
Yeah. So I remember when we were trying to walk on, he was like, yeah, I'm walking on too. And I remember asking him, like, man, how much did they give you? He's like, man, they didn't give me a dime. I said, you did all that? And I was like, yeah, I'm glad I ain't there. I'm glad that John fell through. Because I remember that after my freshman year was coming to holler at, what was the name? Blackwell? Mm-hmm. Was that the coach? Dark-skinned boy, bald head? I think he was a Sigma too. Blackwell, Blackburn, something like that, whatever his name was. Remember coming to talk to him, and I was just like, yo, so what's going on with I didn't get anything for spring ball. Like, is something going on in the summertime? Yo, what's your name again? I'm like, what's my name? Dude, I've been signing in, working out with your little prop dudes, busting their ass in the weight room. I'm like, yo, I ain't playing with Del State, man.
And then, yeah, because you got your favorites, the people that they brought in and all that type of stuff. Just the same thing that happened to basketball players.
Yeah.
You didn't get no time because I brought my
boy with me, right? Brought him up with me. Dude, I remember my man BJ Davis. We played football together, and he played basketball in my high school. I think coach recruited him though. And then who else? Remember that football, they was always talking about a cat named Richard Mason. I mean, always when we was in the weight room, they're like, yeah, Richard Mason. I'm like, yo, who is this dude, man?
He was a problem. That's who he was.
Yeah, I was like, he must be ungodly on the field because
Richard Mason was a problem.
Can't do no wrong.
Richard Mason was a problem. Smart as hell. Would hit the hell out of you from PG County. From smart as hell, was a damn veterinarian student and will come on that field and lay you out. You hear me?
Look, right here. Hold on. I remember Richard Mason. That name, coaches, players, they could not get enough of saying his name. I'm like, yo, who is this dude?
But yeah, that's my dude.
Yeah. Because he down there with Trav, right? Or did he move back up the way?
He was in North Carolina, and then I don't know if he went to South. I don't know. I just saw him at homecoming. I should have asked. Well, you know how homecoming is.
Yeah, because Trav was talking about he was there at his read-in or something. Because I guess down there they do big read-ins because there's so many chapters.
Denarian would know.
Hey, there you go.
Cool. What it is?
What up, frat?
Brother Coach, what's happening? Yeah.
Man, how you doing, man?
Yeah. What's the deal?
Look, he got that fresh off look, don't he?
Fresh look. He got the good lighting.
Got to make sure I pop, baby. If I don't pop, what's the purpose of doing it?
Well, man, he tried to hide the baldy up there. What's going on? What you doing?
No, I got.
He wears hat.
Yeah, no,
I'm got some hang time.
Yeah, I'm a hat guy. Well, right now I need them bad boys rewrapped. So I'm. Yeah. Yeah. So.
He said, "I'm covering this up, man." Fun.
Well, no, I'm a hat guy. So like I said, I rock my hats.
Nah, that's all good.
Did you see me? Did you see me with you on?
I tagged it. I thought I put you. I said he must look good naked. I put it in there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that's love, baby.
Yo, y'all.
I gotta go full steam ahead with it, man. Cause like I said, I think at the time all the Shopify and all that stuff was just coming out and wasn't solid, and I ain't know what I was doing. I think I got a better understanding of how it works now. So, cause my deal is I'm just better with the designs. Like me sitting there selling it, and I need somebody else to sell it. I do the designs, and I'll take a percentage. That's what I'm at it with. So I gotta understand Shopify, and then I'm gonna go. I got 2 of them right now as far as my fitness, and then with the athletic side, I got a whole bunch of them in my head.
Nice.
And then I got to bring my Hornet stuff back too.
Yo, please.
Did you ever get a jacket or any of the stuff I did, Coop? All the Hornet stuff I do?
No, because if I would have saw it, you already know I'd have bought it already.
Okay, so no, I'll put you down. Are you in the Swarm? As far as on the Facebook and all that?
No, I don't do Facebook.
Okay, good. I wish I could do that. It's a necessary evil for us, me reaching out to people.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, because I had to delete two Facebooks before, so that's why I said, okay, as long as I keep the moniker of Coach McCants, I'll present like Coach McCants. Darnarian here, a different dude. I've been trying to explain people that. Yeah. Nah, because I went in on a couple people with this racist bull jive. Well, one of them was my client.
What?
When Trayvon Martin got shot, he had posted some ill stuff. And I was like, hold up. One, you see me every day. We talk every day.
Right.
And you gonna post this? So I was like, you see me, boom, 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 boom. And I went in. And then I pressed enter and I reread it. I was like, nah, this ain't gonna be good. And then I went and seen her and I was like, you see me every day. Do you want to have a conversation? And she wouldn't talk to me. And I'm like, cool. So what you're this is me discovering the cowards of that world.
That's right.
So I'm like, I'm right here. We can have a conversation. You're a woman. What am I going to do to you?
Well, exactly.
You know what I mean? What I'm trying to get you to do is understand what that person did was wrong and 100%. So, you know what I mean? So, and I was like, and you see me, I'm from Baltimore City. So, like, if you want to talk about criminals and all that stuff, that little boy wasn't no damn criminal. You know what I mean? So it was all that criminal and black this and he smoked weed. I was like, are you flipping kidding me? Like, you smoke weed every goddamn day. And that make you a criminal? So then another one, it wasn't a client, but I went left and I was like, I can't be Darnarian. Not surviving in the county I live in.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Well, man, look, fellas, I definitely appreciate y'all hopping on. Definitely want to make sure keep this light. It's it's just one of those knock around podcasts. This is different from my other podcast, which is about academics. This one is about, college, sports, tailgating, all that good stuff. So we just want to have a good time. I always like to put the disclaimer out, man. Look, if you got stories, just however far I'm gonna let you go as far as you want to go. Because remember, I do put this on YouTube. So if it's people that you don't want to incriminate, try to leave out their names at least.
No names. Never say no names. Come on now.
There we go, my man.
No.
So I always got to warn people, like, don't say names.
I'm naming names.
I was about to say, what grown man name names, man? No.
Or you be surprised, and I got to go.
No, that's not manhood at all.
At all, and I got to edit.
No.
I send them like, yo, you sure you want to say this? Oh yeah, nah, I was tripping when I said that.
I got nobody name out there.
I'll edit that.
I'm naming names.
See, Coop though.
Be ready to fight.
I don't care.
That's
I look good naked.
Yeah.
Who said I got these?
You know what I'm saying?
Throw them things.
Throw them things. All right, fellas. So I'm gonna start out with the intro, and then I'll start firing off questions. We'll just let the conversation go where it may go. So, we just want to really talk about life and times, or how'd you get to Del State, positions that y'all played. If you want to share anything that's relevant during your time at Delaware State, Darnarian, as you went into the league, what that was like, that whole experience and coming from an HBCU, not going to lead the elites, which is, obviously that's something that's really not heard of too often nowadays.
I realized it. Yeah, I realized it later. Because I realized it later.
And what that experience was like, and just being in the league, and then now life after football, like what you got going on, and you know what I'm saying. All right, so let me go and jump off with the intro. So welcome back to another episode of Beer and Burgers, where real stories, real conversations, and real people come together over good vibes and better dialogue. I'm your host, Mike Coates, here with an amazing crew. I got my man, Daryl Cooper, as well as the incomparable Darnarian McCants, both Delaware State alumni, here to talk about their life and times at Delaware State University. So what's going on, fellas? How y'all holding up, man? What's going on with you?
All is well.
Hey, all good.
All is well.
Yes.
So let's start with the beginning.
It's a great day to be alive.
Hey, man, talk about it. It's a great day to be a black man. Talk about it.
Is it?
It is for me. It's a privilege to be this, man.
Every day I see the sun.
Talk about it. It's a privilege. So you got to walk in that. So let's start with the beginning, man. How did y'all end up at Del State? What was the journey? Uh-oh. That was
Coop, you gonna start off? Coop, you started off.
I went to Hanson High School in the 757.
What was y'all mascot at Hampton?
Can't crush a crab. It was the Crabbers. Can't crush a crab. Yeah. I hate you.
Crabbers.
Okay.
We were 4 back-to-back, 4-year champions. And I ran track, played football. I got scholarships from Del State to come up there for football, track, and academics. And that's how I got to Del State, yeah.
So you went on a football or an academic or a track scholarship or some time?
So
break it down.
Oh, I was about to say, when you was on the track team, I never saw you.
Oh, yeah, I was on track team. I ran track with you. I just didn't run all your meets, but I ran track with you.
Oh, okay. All right.
Break it down. How you get a scholarship in all 3 areas?
So at HBCU, you don't have that much money in all areas. So if the football team says I can get, if the football team talks to the track coach and the track coach talks to my academics and they all see that I can have a full ride either way, all 3 ways.
I just put the money together.
Not divvy it up so I can get somebody else some money.
Okay.
And that's what they did. Even though they messed me up by putting me in the wrong major, and that messed me up for my whole time there. But yeah, I digress.
Wow. Yeah, we gotta talk about that. That's messed up. Who was the head track coach when you came through?
That was what's the guy?
Was it Coach?
It was
Coach Mack.
Burton.
Coach Burton was there. Okay.
Coach Burton.
Okay, because
and his assistant coach was with the glasses.
So that was Coach Mack. Or you Coach Dwayne Henry?
Dwayne Henry. Yeah, Coach Henry.
Okay.
Yeah. I ran all 4 years. I had scholarship all 4 years. And I remember, do you remember when we were in Atlanta?
I keep hearing about Atlanta. Unfortunately, I really don't remember.
You don't remember?
Like, I didn't heard some stories about it. No, that's my part. Like, because Casey had said something about Atlanta. And I was like, and then Tavares, and he was like, you remember Atlanta? I was like, only thing I remember about Atlanta is I seen the Nike track That's the last thing I remember. Like,
This is the last thing.
that's dog. Like, I've been struggling. Like, I don't even remember 24 right now. But
Dog.
you know, but I keep hearing about people keep bringing back Atlanta. It must have been a great time.
I was just saying, Atlanta must have been something.
Atlanta
like,
was a time. Atlanta was a
It
time.
must have been a great time.
Like, we got to block this one out because I don't need I need all possible deniability about Atlanta player.
No names.
Yeah.
No names.
No name.
Yeah. I know what was the boy. One of the boys came back. They went to the strip club and he started stripping. I was like, hold on, you supposed to go to the strip club and start tipping, not stripping. I was like, what is you doing, dog? I was like, he came back with $500 of cash. I was like, I might need it. Yeah. That's
You ain't tipping. You get up on this stage, man. Come
right.
on.
Hey, man.
He changed the game. I was like, I don't think I could do that. But you know.
That is mad funny. All right, so that's dope, Coop. So track, academic, and football. What was your journey like, Coach?
Mine, I didn't know much about college. So for me, I thought you just showed up.
Mm-hmm.
My parents didn't go to college. So it was a whole new journey. I didn't take the SATs till late. And then of course I didn't get a great SAT score. My GPA wasn't that great. I was straight up basketball player. That's all I did was hoop. So then by the time we got all the information, everything was in. Everybody door we knocked on it was last minute. No, we ain't got no money. We ain't got no money. We ain't got no money. So finally my dad's like, hey, we gonna go to Delaware State. I'm thinking we going across the world.
Mm.
And he was like, no, we're going to cross the bridge. So get there, you know, at this time, I'm 17 years old, 6'1", 6'2", 190 pounds. So I walked through the door and they just looked at me. And my stepdad straight took their tape out, put my tape in, and it's just me running for touchdowns.
Right.
And they like, that's you? I just stood there, you know what I mean? And he was like, yeah, my stepdad did a lot of talking. So he talked the whole time, blah, blah, blah. Now have you? Nobody said nothing to him the whole time. Like, they just looking at the film. And like I say, my whole film is just me running straight.
Mm-hmm.
And then they was like, yeah, we can't help you right now. You know, we signed all these guys. We ain't got no money. By the time we got home, somehow they found some money.
It got all.
And then, like you said, Coach Collett called me. So Coach Collett brought me in. And then he was like, you just won the state high jump too, right? I said, yeah, I won the states in high jump in the 4A division. And he was like, hold on. So he calls Coach Burden. Coach Burden calls me. He said, you know what? I just lost the high jumper. I think you can, you know, we can find some money for you. So I had a dual scholarship between football and track. So that's how I got to Delaware State. So technically I'm a walk-on because I didn't even know Delaware State existed. I was unfamiliar with black college besides the SWAC because back in the day, BT only played the SWAC.
Right.
So we used to watch the black colleges. I watched Grambling. I watched Southern. So that's all I knew. I didn't know other black colleges. I knew Morgan, but I really didn't know. You know what I mean? Because Morgan was down the street from my grandmother's house. We used to hang out on campus, but I was just hanging out. I ain't really. It never clicked.
Right. This is cool. You know.
Yeah, it was like we hanging up on Morgan. You know, my cousins and them hollering at the girls. You know, I'm like, all right, shoot, that's what we do when you go to Morgan. You know what I mean? Didn't realize that it was a university. So that's pretty much how I got there, man. And then, you know, they gave me my money, so I stayed. But they did kind of the same thing to me as far as I told them I wanted to be an architect because what I did my senior year, we had built and developed the house, and I was the lead director for the house. So I was talking to the CAD programs and other programs about coming and being an architect, but they didn't have sports, and I still wanted to play sports. And the other Dwayne Henry, and I'm calling names because this is my story. So the other Dwayne Henry, who was the football coach at the time, he was like, oh, yeah, he showed me some building. Yeah, we got all the architect stuff in there. So it goes through my whole freshman year. Come my sophomore year, I asked Mr. Bassels. And I was like, yeah, Mr. Bassels, when we started, you know, the drawing boards. And he was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I signed up to be an architect. And he said, have you looked at your transcript? That bad boy said general education.
Wow.
And
just studies.
Yeah. And he was like, I've been here since 1970. Never had architecture here. So
I'm sorry.
Right. So I was like, okay. So I ain't say nothing. I got into the art program and then I just stuck with education. So I ended up getting a double major.
That's bananas, yo. Man, so y'all brothers came to Dell State under the impression, I'm playing ball, I'm doing this, but you also were focused on your education. So, I want to be pre-med, I want to be architecture. Really ain't architecture. We got you in general studies, but we're gonna tell you it's architecture, all right? And what was the program they put you in? They misplaced you in.
They
Cool?
put me in agriculture. They put me in like pre-vet instead of pre-med. So I'm taking ag classes and I'm
Wow.
just wasting money taking these
Wasting
classes
time too.
and wasting.
Dr. Doolittle, bro.
Exactly. So when I switch it over, all my money gone in academics.
Right. Right.
I'm
Because
like, how's that
Wow.
possible?
going
How's
back
that
to
possible?
getting pre-med, that means more time I had to stay here with y'all,
Yeah.
which is gonna burn up, that's gonna burn up all the money y'all gave me.
And
Right.
I gotta find that portion of the money now. It
Oh,
enters student loans.
there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to my life. Dog, that's cold.
Yeah. So going from a full ride to student loans is you want to put
That
your hands on
hurt.
somebody.
That's
You want to put them hands out.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
wait up in that line at that. Well, what was it used to be? Grocery Hall was the
Grocery,
admission.
Grocery
man,
Hall, MLK, all of them. You had
all
to
of them.
walk
Wait up in
from,
that line trying to
yeah,
get
it was
that.
that triangle.
Right.
Go over here, get that sign. When you come back, get this notarized. Then you gotta go back over there, get that sign.
It was like a makeshift relay race.
Admin,
You just
yeah,
kept
it was
getting
kind
the
of
time passed. Like, all
It
right, here you
just,
go.
yep, just sitting there.
Dog.
Now the crazy part about that though, soon as I got on my own, that's exactly what I had to do to get all my stuff together. And I was just like, unfortunately, they had me prepared for all this bull job I was about to start taking on.
Right. Right.
Yeah, because it was like, oh yeah, they don't know what they doing, they ain't got the stuff straight. Got in the real world, exact same program. And I was like, oh yeah, you gotta go over here, get this sign, and you gotta go over here and sign that. And I'm 21 years old, stuck on stupid. I'm like, look, man, I ain't got time for all this, man. I gotta go to practice. So, but anyway.
Dude. And that was a whole nother thing, man. Like even like I was telling Coop earlier, when I was trying to walk on, we was working out with the prop dudes. So dudes that were recruited, but for some reason or other didn't have a grade. So they was just got them working out until they got their stuff together. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of those dudes that was walking on, like my man Vince, talking with him a few years before we graduated. I was like, man, how much money did they ever give you for playing ball? He's, man, I get a dime. I said, yo, you tripping. You was out there killing yourself and you ain't get no cheese.
Yep. It's even bad. It's even bad for the athletes because, like I said, right now they're starting to get rights. But I'm like, what about the people who, like I said, the young man who ended up quadriplegic? That wasn't worth his scholarship. So it should be a workman's comp, but they've sold it on being, hey, it's you're playing for your scholarship. Oh, you're a student athlete, you're an amateur. No, if you watch what Dion did when his boys or his young men went to the All-Star games, he got them all $5 million insurance plans.
Yeah.
So if any of them would have got hurt, they'd have been at least straight.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, indeed. And that's what should be happening anyway, because I think, like I said, the one guy was like, hey, pay me as an independent business because now you're technically an independent business.
Who
You know what I mean?
From the young boy for the Bears, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I think
it's
one of the smartest deals.
Well, people have done it before. LeVar did it. LeVar tried to do it. LeVar Arrington tried to do it. If you ever go back to any of the video games, it's player 56. It's not LeVar
Don't
Arrington.
even have his name. What?
It's player 56. Because he was like, nah, if you're going to use my name, image, and likeness, you need to write me a check. Not to the Redskins, not to the NFL.
I need some of that. Yeah.
Right. Right. And then the Bannon brothers, they finally got over it. They were like, all right, y'all put this in the game. Because I remember we was playing when I came back. They got Dell State in there. They got Big Five, and they got my armbands. Every time I know it's me because of my armbands. I had one at the wrist, and one at the elbow. Anytime you had the armbands like mine, it's me. You can name it what you want. It's me.
That's my style. Exactly. That's my likeness. Yeah. Damn, that's crazy, yo. But that's a good point though with the Dion thing. But I think it takes being or having a tribe that kind of has that forethought. Like, wait, we got to think long term because at any given game, something could tragically happen to any player. God forbid, you definitely don't want to, anything like that to happen. But a lot of folks ain't thinking long term like that. What they think is, look, little Leroy, this your opportunity to get us all out the hood.
Well,
all out this predicament.
It's a lot of it's like I said, one, we don't know.
That's true.
Like, that's what I was debating with my dad today, because I was asking him, like, look, do you have a trust? Do you have a will? I'm like, dude, you 70 years old, man. Like, I'm glad you still here. You still healthy, but anything can trigger at a time. And then you know how when granddad house up on the market, everybody fighting for scraps.
Come on.
And all of a sudden, I know you, and nobody really knows what the power of attorney is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Granddad ain't had no will. You know what I mean? So it's just, we fighting over scraps.
I know, because
And who,
that stuff
right,
gets caught up in probate. So now you
exactly.
they ready to
And
give it to you.
right. And if if the government get a hand of it, they're going to rob it blind anyway. So it's like, we just don't have enough information on how the game works. But when we do know how the game works, we dominate
We
it.
kill it. We kill it.
Yeah. When we know how the game works, we're going to dominate. So I'm going to say we still 40 years behind
Yeah.
as far as
Yeah.
understanding information and what we should do.
Yeah.
But, it's coming. It's coming.
It's just that financial literacy. I get you. Man, well, let's bring it back to Del State real quick, man. So walk me through, fellas, because y'all came in a little before. I came in 2000. Y'all had already been there a few years. But what was life like on campus when y'all got there? Now, y'all balling. You running track. I know y'all running around in your little DSU little outfits, and you got your little red and striped Del State windbreakers on. What's good? Tell me, what was that like? You walk in the calf and you know the heads is turning. What's going on, man? What the party's like? What was dorm life like? Because I got some stories there. And then we can always talk about homecoming.
Denarian was there before me, so he can go first.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I just went to class. I was a pretty good student. I stayed in the library.
Wow. Look.
I just played football and ran track, and I was a high jumper.
Mm-hmm.
No, man, for me, it was a culture shock. So I didn't come so I'm from Baltimore City, right? But then I started growing up in the county. So Howard County. So you go from all black, majority black, low income to, you think you're doing something in Howard County because you're in the county, you're around white people. Like Dave Chappelle says, I grew up poor around white people. So that was kind of the concept.
Right.
It went from 100%, 90% black to 80, 90% white. Now, the neighborhoods I grew up in was still Tony Kim, Kwame Davis, Celia, like it was still immigrants, including myself. So then when I get to Delaware State, it's all black. Now I'm around New Yorkers. Now I'm around Philly. Now I'm around DC. Now I'm around Atlanta. It was just a difference in culture for me. So I was like, I like this. Now, then there was them things that was curvious. I drive NASCAR and I like curves. So that was the first thing that got me.
Right.
So it was just like, I'm not leaving this place at all.
At all.
So that kept my attention. But then that 1.75, my first semester, opened my eyes to saying, son, you're going to have to learn how to study if you want to stay here.
Right.
Because they was like, if you get a 7.3, we got to send you home. I was like home to my mother? They was like, yeah, well, you won't see me leave. I'm no, sir. So, figured it out. I just love it, man, because then it became family. Like being around the football players, being around the track team, just even in the dorms, like our third floor, the dirty third. Like that's what we called it. It was just everybody on our wing on the third floor was just cool. Like I never locked my door, man. Like I was never afraid of anybody taking my stuff.
Right. Because
like
you had that type of community up there.
Right. And then by the time I got to my senior year, I had all the slow jams. So dudes would just come in. I was like, yo, just let me know if you got a CD. You know what I mean? They were like, hey, dog, we need that 112. All right, bet. You go ahead. You know what I mean? As long as you returned it, I wasn't tripping off nothing. But I got to a point where I'm like, if you're going to take something, you're going to take it. I ain't got nothing worth value that you really want. You know what I mean? So I would let people know, I never had no problems, man. I loved it, man.
That's dope. That's dope.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Coop? What was life like for you? We were actually kind of a little bit together.
A little bit together.
A little earlier than me, though. You started a little earlier than 2000.
I started in 99, came into new dorms.
Oh, you
the newest dorms.
Because he was smart.
I came into the newest dorm as a freshman. Because the freshmen stayed on the first floor. Everybody, upper class, would stay up top.
Yeah, okay.
But as a freshman, I stayed in a new dorm. So having a new dorm and the ladies just loving the aesthetics of a new dorm. That just was great for me. So I had no problem anyway, but I had to get the Gab, so I didn't have that problem. But what made it, what made it, what
Yeah.
made it special was my roommate left and he went to Africa on, what is that called? When you're helping other people and
Sabbatical.
Missionary
it
joint?
wasn't, it's
Mission.
not about missionary. That's about missionary. And so I was there for the rest of the semester by myself.
You had the suite or just your room in the suite by yourself?
My room in the suite by myself.
Gotcha.
So I pushed the beds together, stuffed some stuff in the middle so that you can't slide. And I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed myself.
There you go.
I enjoyed myself. And but besides the women, it just camaraderie, the friends that I made, the stupid stuff that we were able to do, like me, Steve, Jasper, just
Yeah.
running around and starting stuff, opening up fire hoses and spraying people. And when
Okay,
it snowed outside, we going out there with our shorts on and just doing snow angel. Like this, it was like being like going to your grandma's house away from your mom. Like you just was able to open up and just do whatever you wanted to do. And
With all your
with
cousins.
your
with your favorite cousin.
That's with your extended family. And that's exactly what we did. And that's how Del State was. It's extended family.
Yeah, that's funny because we I know when we came in and y'all had the luxury. I stayed in Conwell, so we ain't had no AC.
I did 2 years at Caldwell, son.
Man, what they say? Real men dwell in the well, player.
Nah, I stayed across the street. Steve made me come across the street
because I remember I saw you at Evers one time.
I went to Evers. I came back to the hood.
Yeah, AC, Jack. I had AC, Jack. If you had a good roommate, y'all had a system. One fan blowing out, one fan blowing in. You get that circulation popping. Woo! But nah, man, it was crazy. I remember dudes. When I first got to Del State, I stayed on the second floor of Conwell, room 226. And I remember it was this one night, dudes had took big vats of water and mixed them with like detergent, poured it like at the end of the hallway, like from where
sliding down the hallway.
Dude. The exit stairs.
The exit stairs?
The straight water. Like dudes had put towels under their door so it didn't go in their room. And they had set this dude up, dog. They had convinced this guy. When I got there, you remember the Razor scooters?
Yes.
For some reason they was mad. Like everybody had them for some reason. I don't know why. Like even dudes.
Small scooters.
Yeah, man. Yeah, then like a collapse and it was stupid. But they convinced this dude, and I remember him because he played at this school called Del Castle in Delaware. And I played at William Penn, so we were rivals. And I remember him, and he was a stocky dude like me. They convinced this fool to ride this scooter. They bet him to ride that he couldn't ride the scooter from one end of the hallway to the other end of the hallway. And this big Bama commences to ride this scooter. As soon as he hit that water, dog, I swear the scooter went one way and he just hydroplaned all the way down the hallway into the wall, dog. Yo, the hallway erupted, yo. Like it was stupid stuff like that, man. That it was hilarious and did y'all have any hijinks like that? I know on the football team something was going on, man.
I know at one point in time we had I think it was the freshman ballers. The female basketball team, they called themselves the Sweet Ballers.
Okay.
Yeah, they was kind of our rivals. We had water gun fights against them. We had snowball fights against them. So we had something called the Freak 'em Down, which probably be at assault charges right now. But for the most part, it was all fun, right? It was all fun and games.
It was all fun.
Fun. Good.
Yeah.
Good. It was
clean. Right. So it was like I said, it was a lot of stuff. See, in my situation, like I said, for the most part, I was always gone on the weekends, either playing ball or a track meet. But, so that's why I said a lot of times I missed a lot because I was always gone. Like I didn't even know downtown Dover until I graduated because every Friday through Saturday and Sunday, and then I had to get back and being an art major, I ain't got time to get somebody to write a paper for me. I got to go paint. I got to go draw. I got to go sculpt. I got to go build something with my hands that can't nobody, say they can do for me.
Right.
So like a lot of times I was kind of out of the loop in a lot of situations.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So what was that grind like with y'all playing ball, being student athletes? Like, what was that really like? What was the day in the life of a football player at Dell State?
So you start out, you have to work out, I guess around 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. You have to go to, like I said, our nutrition program was, I better see you. You better sign in for breakfast. Then you do whatever you have to do first classes. My classes started at 8. So you have to fit your classes in. All your classes have to fit in before practice. They don't want to hear that you have classes during, no, you have to fit your whole schedule in before practice. So then you have practice, you go eat, then you have meetings. Then after meetings, you have to do your work, your homework and all that. And if you wasn't good at that, they had study hall for you. And so, yeah, that's the, from morning to night. That's what you had to do every day. And we just couldn't understand how people was getting bad grades. Like, oh, we on a schedule.
Right. You
We
have
don't have,
your
this is,
time is structured.
yeah. And then you don't have no money. So you hungry at night. You can't have a job to get money. So you have to figure it out. So I started working
Well,
as a security guard.
yeah,
What
I
do
was
you
gonna
do?
say it was a trick to that.
Yeah.
Because I found my contract and the contract didn't have a number on it. So technically, if you signed that contract and it didn't have a number, they couldn't say nothing to you. Because I just talked to a guy from the NCAA who worked, and he told me they know NCAA works, right? You're a number, just like anything else, just like in
Mhm.
school. So I know the school system. School system, each kid is worth $12,000, right? If they're on special education, they get an extra $2,000 to $3,000, maybe $4,000, depending on the district, right? So that's per kid. It's the exact same when it comes to NCAA. We are supposed to get a per diem because of our scholarships, which they send to Delaware State. And then obviously, if you got whatever, you got room, board, and then books, and then also the Pell Grant, right? All that stuff goes in to your name. So you're supposed to get it. The guy says that he found out because he was working at Bowie, and he was like, yeah, that's never happened. They was like, we know.
Wow.
Nobody at the MEAC or the SWAC ever says anything. That's why the programs are going to the toilet. Now, the SWAC is rolling because they got 12 schools. The MEAC, on the other hand,
Oh, it's about to be a wrap.
we down.
Everybody's leaving.
Why stay? Like, if we're talking business, don't sell me on pride and history and all that bullshit.
Mhm.
Let's talk business, because that's the problem. We keep trying to live off pride and history. We need money. That's the biggest asset that these PWIs took out was people who look like us. And they're in the NBA, 80%, and in the NFL, 80%. NCAA bowls make millions, billions of dollars. The daggone tournament, once they get to the Sweet 16, you talking about a ticket is $10,000. Come on now. So where's that money going?
Where's that money going?
So it's like I said, we have to understand the business. Like, we got to stop playing this pride and history thing and play, where the money? Show me the money, because then we can take our kids back. Like, nah, you going to Delaware State because Delaware State can put $3 million on your head. You see what I'm saying? So until we get to that phase, but that's always the leadership. When you got people who grew up with Jim Crow, you get a different mindset.
Yeah. That's a good point. I mean, because even just talking on like old heads, and we was clowning earlier about Delaware State's stadium. I remember like my high school stadium was a lot bigger, more, I would say, a more professional field than that joint. But then talking with some old heads, they said it was a period where John Taylor was actually going to pay for a new stadium, and he just wanted his mom's name. He wanted to be named after his mom. And then somebody else said no, they wanted to serve beer. I think it was because it was going to be sponsored by like Coors or something.
Bud or something.
It was like the story's kind of like I couldn't figure out which one was true or not, but basically we had the opportunity to get a new stadium.
That's always been the rumor, right? Now, I have yet, every time I see JT, I never ask him. I got to ask him personally. As a matter of fact, I might get him through Rod. But anyway, that's always been a rumor. So even when I was there, like they had the, when you walked into the office, they had the new stadium.
Like the design and all that. Yeah.
Right. They had it right there. So when you walked in, oh yeah, that's going to be the new stadium every time. Now, I've heard that rumor. Now, being on different boards, understand this, it's still a state school. So no matter what, if I say I'm Darnell McCants, I got $3.5 billion to give the Delaware State, the state still controls it. And if we really talking, HBCUs are owed millions, if not billions of dollars from back pay. Every black college that sued the state has gotten their money. Jackson State, Prairie View, Alabama, what's the other Alabama school? I think it's A&M. All of them have sued the schools, sued the state. University of Maryland Eastern Shore, they was owed $500 million. The last I saw, Delaware State is owed $250 million. But you have to have so like I said, it's just leadership. You have to have somebody who's willing to fight for it. So we know it, they know it. Like I said, NCAA, yeah, we know they take y'all money.
What y'all gonna do about it?
Who gonna fight?
It's like a bully.
Yeah, who gonna fight for you? The people who run your league don't fight for you. So why should we care? And that's ends up always being the situation. Hey, we have all these kids. Nobody should be hungry. Nobody should have, but who's going to fight for you? If nobody's willing to fight for you, then the situation stays the same. You got the lady, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife just gave a school, $53 million or something crazy. But obviously they developed a relationship and said, hey, and right now, if you go to Morgan State, it's looking like University of Maryland. It's its own city now.
Yeah.
It is its own city. So why can't we all do that? It's possible. They've shown it. It's been done. You know what I mean? And to an extent, Delaware State is actually a little jewel, man. Like, people don't understand. Delaware State is actually, it's a little jewel, but we got to be able to do business, and we got to bring business to them, because that's the only way the money's at. That's where the money's at, in the business. Because unfortunately, I talked to a guy, because I was like, dude, we were talking, and I was like, I said, dude, I looked at the stats. I was like, why don't y'all work with Delaware State? Because Delaware State employs, so Delaware State University employs a third of the state of Delaware. So a third of the state of Delaware employees will come from Delaware State University. Because,
employees.
Yes, because UD, because of their academic background, they generally leave. But Delaware State's, because you got teachers, you got social workers, you got nurses, they're staying local. They become your employees. I said, why won't you work with them? He said, giving Delaware State money is like pouring water in your hand. And I had nothing else to say.
Wow.
And so that lets me know what's happening with the leadership. Because like I said, I've been in situations where I'm talking to these board members. They say one thing, I go talk to the coaches, talk to the players. They say another thing. So where's the disconnect? And then, like I said, where's the board? Like, dude, they need to start inviting all of them. If I don't give a damn what school they went to, UD. Hey, y'all need to come down to Delaware State.
Yeah, bring them to the table.
It's the capital. Everything should be happening at Delaware State. It's the capital of the state. We should have the state championships there. We should have everything where we're building and gaining resources and money from the state of Delaware. But that's just my idea. That's in the perfect world.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But I mean, I think that's a good segue when you start talking about the money. So
the money.
No, you good. As you transition out of Del State, man, what you find yourself, and this is one strictly, for my man Donarian, you find yourself going into league. What was that process like? Coming out of an HBCU, and now you're being looked at and being, sought after from professional team.
Now that I'm old, I didn't know that it was special. I didn't know how unique it was. I'm in the gym, and this little dude kept walking by me, shaking my hand. Yo, you Darnell McCants. I'm like, yeah, man, and I'm dapping him up, little weird kid. And he was like, do you know the statistics of you going to the league? And he gives me the exact number. And I'm like, that's when I started calling myself a unicorn. I was like, damn, I guess I am a unicorn. Because he said, you from Baltimore City, you went to Howard County, you went to Delaware State, and you got drafted. And I was like, but as a child, it was just the next step.
Right.
So at 21 years old, I'm like, okay, if I get an opportunity, this is where I'm going to go, right? Because like I said, I'm going to say I worked for it. I'm going to say I earned it. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't given or handed to me. I wasn't, at a big school and, got this. And then even still, a little tip on that, my coach who brought me in said, if I go to Towson, I'm a second round draft pick. But that's a whole nother story. That's the game. But I don't want to say I took it for granted, but I thought it was just the progression. I had an opportunity. One, I'm a bigger, faster, stronger athlete. So it kind of went hand in hand. But as I got older and I see how much football really affects people, because I'm not a football guy, I'm not a sports guy. Like, people don't get that. Like, I'm a nerd. I like reading. I told you, I like sprinkles. I like glitter. I'm an artist, man.
I hear
So,
right.
yeah,
that glitter.
yeah. And I'm heterosexual. So, you know what I mean? Like,
say something.
So to that point, then how did being so close to home and the team that actually drafted you, how did you keep on the straight and narrow and out of the so-called the pitfalls that befall people that are home?
Yeah, that's a good point, because now you're close enough to where your folks got access to you. Not to say that's a bad thing, but you hear
nah,
stories where like dudes' families kind of take advantage, and
I'm Darnarian, right? So in my upbringing, it was, for the most part, I ain't gonna say it was me, but I chose this path, right? I'm the first one. Now, they always told me, my biological father, they was like, yo, if your father this man, if he ain't start that drinking, boy, he would go pro. They always told me that since I was little. So I got into a point in my head, I'm like, shoot, I'm the same dude. I'm now bigger than him. I worked harder than him. I don't drink or smoke. But I'm gonna say my family supported me, but they weren't in my pocket. Like, they weren't like, yo, remember I came to the game and I did this? Because a lot of times nobody was at my games.
right.
So you can't say that you supported me any kind of way. Like, it was a pride in supporting my family. Like I said, that pride thing, because of my grandfather. My grandfather was a sharecropper. He would read the paper. So for me, I wanted him to see the name McCants in the paper every week. That's what I wanted. I wanted them to go to church. Hey, this is my grandbaby. This is my grandbaby. Because everybody else that presented in front of me was drug dealers, street dudes. You know what I mean? It was like, it was an impoverished mindset. And I was like, nah, my grandfather told me use my brain, not my body. But I was like, only way I can pay for school if I use this body as a tool. So it was all those concepts coming into one. So when it came to family and being local, I never changed. Like, my first car was a Volvo. Everybody was laughing, yo, you got a Volvo. And I was like, it do the same thing your car do.
Get you from point A to B.
So, you know what I mean? I put a little bump in the trunk, but that was about it. You know what I mean? That was all I did. But for me, I never changed. I was going to the same places, the same location. Unfortunately, I ain't spend money on jewelry till I thought I was going to be an R&B singer. And I blame Usher for that, man. Yeah,
I remember that.
If I would have never met Usher, I would have never got all the jewelry that I got, man. I wasted all the damn money on that jewelry. Don't even wear 90% of it. I wear my wedding ring, my little gold, my little chain.
Yeah, let's not glance over that, dog. Yeah, you was an R&B joint for a minute. Where did that come from? Did you always sing, or?
Yeah, so I wanted to be Michael Jackson. So yeah, since I seen him, so my aunt introduced me to Michael Jackson, and she gave me the young Michael first.
Right.
So at that time, I didn't know Michael Jackson was older than me. I knew Michael Jackson on the records.
Right.
You know what I mean? So until I think 85, and then when he hit Motown and did the 1985 Motown show, then I realized he was older. Then I was like, oh, that's the guy from here. They was like, yeah, that's him. And I locked in from that point. I was Michael Jackson. I used to talk with my voice high. I wore high waters. I could care less. I wore glitter.
Moonwalk.
I could do everything. It wasn't even a question. Like, before my voice changed, I could hit note for note with him. Like, You know what I mean? Far as in his C range. When he got the D and high, no, I couldn't. So no,
yeah, he's like, I ain't got
Yeah.
that ring.
no. Like I said, if he stayed in the C range, I could go with you, right? So I picked my songs, and as long as I sounded very similar, I was there. But then once maturity hit, I rolled over to R. Kelly.
There
You know,
local Parental.
I don't see nothing wrong. You know what I mean?
Hey, but the ladies like it though.
Hey, look here, bro. Yeah.
Hey, look here, bruh.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I got 2 albums on iTunes and all that stuff. I'm looking to put some more stuff out. You know what I mean?
Oh, you still doing it?
Yeah. So I got married, man. So that's life.
Yeah.
Life took over.
Takes
You know what I mean?
a little detour. That's right.
Well, like I said, it was always about the art for me. You know what I mean? Because I write. So for me, yeah, I write and sing. So it's like I always hear beats and sounds in my head. So it's just like it's just a matter of putting them together or collaborating. Like, hey, I'm hearing this, and can you do this? You know what I mean? So that's how I did my 2 albums. So the first album, it's called My First 7. I bought 3 Tank albums, 3 Tank songs. So I got 3 Tank songs in the first one, and I wrote 3, and then I think I bought another one.
Okay.
So that was my first album. It's called My First 7. The second album, I'm paying people and nobody working. So that was hurting. And I was just like, dog, I gave you a check. Why aren't you going to do your job?
Yeah.
And then people was trying to rough me because I would roll by myself. Like I told you, I didn't change anything. I rolled dolo, right? So I'm going in people's studios and they got about 10, 20 goons around me.
They crew with them.
And it's just me. If anything pop off, I'm short.
Right. You outnumbered. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to get my family involved because I know if I call a couple of my uncles, especially back then.
Go way left. Yeah.
Left. Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't going to be good. And I'm like, there's no need for them to get involved in that situation. But, you know, so then I was like, okay. So then I sat back and I did the whole second album for the most part by myself. I got my man down out your way, 757. He graduated from Berkeley, and you know, and I would just give him what I'm looking for, and that joker just put it together. He was like, all right, you got to do it like this. And I'm like, yeah, that's it. And he could, everything I hummed or mumbled, I said, I need the horns. He could just figure that joint out because he understood
music,
you know, the music. So I can just sing and I can hear it. You ask me what it is, I don't know. Like notes and all that stuff, have no clue. But I can tell you when it's right, and I can tell you when it ain't right.
You're a regular James Brown out here.
Well, this is the trick. Yeah. This is what I found out. Music and dance is in our DNA. If you think about it, we make fun of other cultures because they can't dance, because it's not in their DNA. Our culture is singing and dancing. That's what always links us back to Africa. That's the only place on the planet where they naturally sing and dance. Yeah. So that's why, like I said, because my brothers and sisters, they really can't sing and dance. But I can. We got the same mom, now different daddies, but you know what I mean? Like, you know, so I started realizing it ain't just black folk. It's in your DNA.
It's in your DNA.
Yeah, it has to be in your DNA.
What you say? Just listen to your heartbeat.
Yeah. Hey. Yes, indeed.
But some of us can't even do that, Jack. But
no, like I said, it ain't for everybody.
It really ain't. Nah. So now, you know, post-career, post-school, what's life like for y'all brothers now, man? What's going on? What y'all doing? Are you still connected to football or even track to this day? What are y'all? What's going on with y'all?
I like to take that. Oh, me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Not trying to do anything strenuous.
You done already retired, huh?
What? I won't touch a track. I won't touch a foot. The last time I did football was 3 years ago, playing in a turkey bowl, and felt something tighten up in my lower leg, and I was like, nah. I already know that's Achilles.
Nah,
that's Achilles.
About
you don't coach. You don't play. You go teach. Those who can do. You go and teach.
And my brother is trying to get me to coach track with him, and I'm like, no, I will not. I refuse.
You running from it? You ain't got to run. You just.
I refuse.
Running from it will not save you.
That's
I'm gonna see. I'm gonna say no one more time, and then I might say yeah, but we'll see.
So what's gonna happen is once you meet them kids, the kids gonna trap you.
And I know that already. But my thing is, I want my daughter to run, and then
oh, okay.
I was gonna ask. So when she becomes of age and she starts saying, "Hey, Daddy, I saw the photo album. You was
I'll be the first person out there.
Understood. Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Daddy's girl. Yeah.
That's it.
saving all that wisdom to pour into
That's
her. Is that what it is?
exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
cause what happened is you get out there with them kids, man, you gonna fall in love with one kid and it's like, yo, I can't leave this kid because he's special for this reason. Because what happened is as an athlete, you can see what other coaches can't see.
There you go.
So like I tell people, I said at 3 years old, I can tell you if your child's gonna be an athlete or not. Just by how they move, their enthusiasm, their commitment, their willingness to do anything. Right. So that's 9 times out of 10, you can tell real early. And most athletes can tell because you see yourself.
Right.
When you see yourself, you know what, oh, nah, yeah, he gonna be straight.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He got something.
Right.
You know, you coaching, or what you doing?
As far as my journey, yeah, I've been coaching since 2008. I actually took off for the exact reason, Coop, to be dad. So for me, after my football, so 2006 was pretty much really my last game or season. Trickled around a little bit, went to Canada, went to arena football, ended up in Baltimore. Major concussion, 5 stitches in my hand, broke my toe, strained my knee. So I was like, you know what? Thank you very much.
I'm about. I get it.
Yeah, bowed out. And then it was only natural. So I'm out there, you know, I ain't got nothing to do, not married yet. And somebody was like, hey, dude, I got a son, you know, this guy from New York, Mr. Rosa. He a big old dude, big Spanish, Puerto Rican guy, like 300 pounds. And he's like, man, I think my son can play ball. You know, I want you to check him out. And I'm like, cool. So I go out there. He got about 13 of his friends. So I just play. I'm just having fun. All right, do this, do boom, boom, do that, boom. All right, well, work on this, like try this, boom. So I'm just out there playing. Now, it's just me and my dog. So the kids became my friends. I'm out there almost every day during the summer, just working on stuff. And then they have a season. They had one of the best freshman classes of the school. And then the parents called me, hey, November, they was like, are you going to do that camp again? And I was like, what camp?
What camp?
We just reading at the park. What you talking about?
Dog, that's all I was really doing. I was just hanging out because I didn't have a job. I didn't know what I was going to do. I wasn't married. I was courting, but I didn't know that I was there yet. I didn't know I was mentally there. And then, you know, they hit me up and I was like, and then one of the guys, he was like, you need to start a business. So I was like, let me find out what an LLC is.
There you go.
And I'm going to keep moving. So then I set everything up, got everything going, and been training ever since then. So I've trained basketball, football, track, baseball, just about any sport. And then I started my training business. And like I said, it's mainly athletes, but I do fitness as well. That's where the look good naked stuff comes in. But then it was like I said, I've done high school, haven't done college, but high school and then the little league, the rec leagues. And also right now I'm running the Delaware Youth sports program, track club. So I've had that for the last 5 years. But I shut it down once. So I said shut it down. I slowed down for my son. So my son is now a sophomore. I'm trying to get him right mentally. Like, got all the tools, but the new generation.
Yeah, they something different.
It's just, yeah, you know, and then of course, he's not from the same element. He's not from the same cloth. You know, like I said, I came from poverty. When I mess with him, I'll be like, dude, have you ever ate a bowl of cereal for a whole week? Like, you don't know what that's like. You know what I mean? I'm starving. You don't know what starving is. You know what I mean? And now have you, like I said, my situation wasn't that bad, but he wouldn't understand.
Right.
Yeah, he wouldn't understand. You know what I mean? Eating hamburger helper for a week.
That's funny, man. You say that, man, because I was talking with a homie of mine on here before. He played at Tulane. He had a trial with the Jets, and he actually got in the coach. He coached at Delaware State for a high second too, most recently. But he was just saying like this new generation. He said they're entitled. That's the word he used, was entitled. They just have this sense of entitlement. Like, no, you're supposed to just give it to me.
Yep.
He's like, dude, like he's from Camden, New Jersey. Like, do you know what we like?
Yeah.
I had how hard I worked just to get my cleats.
Yeah, and it's all levels. Even the kids who don't have anything. Like, cause my family still out Baltimore. So, you know, they were like, yo, we trying to raise money for this. But these kids, you supposed to give this to me. Like, it's expected I'm supposed to have this. So it's still a mindset because of what the society has portrayed and put in front of us through these daggone computers. So it's a set mindset that comes with it, and they watching all these highlights. Well, this team got this, and they here. They don't know, like I said, once again, the resources.
Right.
They don't know and understand where these resources are coming from and why this group has this and why this group has that. So unfortunately, like I said, that's what we're dealing with. We still got a few, but the crazy part is a lot of these kids are more talented than we were, but they ain't got no heart and they ain't got no work ethic.
There you go. I was about to hit on that piece. Like, I don't know. And I asked him, do you feel with the shift, especially now with college athletes, the NIL, do you think that is kind of deteriorating? I hit him with the loyalty that players have for universities and programs, but also what you just touched on, the work ethic. Like, these kids are extremely talented when they're coming out of high school and all this stuff. And like, people are putting in their head like, oh man, you about to make $5 million once you get into college. And it's kind of like, well, damn, like, is that it? We just saying like, yo, just go chase the bag. We not saying like, man, get good at your craft, do this. You have a very long career. If you're fortunate to make it to the next level with your talent, it'll help you get to school. You can, that pay for a school, you can get your education, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's like, we're just telling kids, go chase the bag.
Well, I think go ahead, Coop.
No, I think we've always chased the bag.
Yeah, it was at the end of the story.
Okay. Got it.
Now the bag is so close. It's like, okay, I'm gonna get this, and now I can take a shortcut, and it's a lot of shortcuts being taken that we didn't even know were possible before.
Right.
But we still had the mindset like, well, even if I take the shortcut, I still gotta work.
And I still got, and yeah. Well, I think what's gonna happen also is it's gonna be parental guidance. You're still gonna have people who are gonna stay loyal because I'm cool with that coach. I'm cool with this school. I don't, what I mean? Like, for me, so the reality of me going to Towson, I had 2 years with a coach from Towson called the Dean of Students at Delaware State to get me to come to Towson. The second year, he called my professor personally and wanted to talk to me on the phone. I didn't leave because Delaware State was home.
Right.
Delaware State felt good. And I knew if I went to Towson, I was closer to Baltimore. Wasn't going to be a good situation for me.
Right.
I was going to be north of the city. I would have found my way back downtown into something. And like I said, all it takes is you look like somebody. You remind me of somebody. And, oh, that wasn't him? Oh, well. Bullets ain't got no names on them.
None.
You know what I mean? And unfortunately, one of the dudes from Morgan State who was supposed to get drafted, the week before, he got stabbed 11 times before he got drafted. Or before the draft.
Before the draft, right.
Right. So that's all it would take. You know what I mean? Because I was working out with the man. I was like, yo, this joker nice. They just ain't never thrown him the ball because they had kid Ali.
Yeah.
Ali was a goddamn monster in the backfield. But yeah, I think it'll still be some loyalty because, like I said, it's gonna be upbringing. Like, yo, just stay and grind. And then, of course, I think the ones who are chasing the bag are going to be the more talented kids. It's always that 1% that can do that. The other 99% not gonna have the ability because I know I got a couple knuckleheads who I told, don't jump in the portal. Stay out of the portal. And now they haven't played football in 2 to 3 years and they wondering why. And I'm like, dude, I told you to stay where you were.
It's like they all want to believe that, yo, I'm a 5-star recruit. Like that,
and that means nothing when you get in
here. I'll be out somewhere, and it's like
that's just because you can doesn't mean you should.
There you
right.
go.
And then if you're a 5-star recruit, once you get to college, it means nothing. You want to feel grown men.
Come on.
Like I said, when I turned 21 and I looked across the field and I'm looking at a freshman, I'm cooking. Dog, by the time when I got to 21, I told, you're not going to be able to stop me. That was my mindset mentally and physically. You're not going to be able to stop me. And once I got that in my head and I'm looking across the field, just throw me the ball, man. This joker sucks. That was my mindset. That was my mindset. And then, like I said, and you talking about, and then they started making me bigger and bigger than what I really was. Like, by the time we got to Howard and like some of the guys who knew me in Norfolk and all, they was like, yo, D-Mac, man, They got you in that joint 6'6", run a 4'1", 225 pounds. I was like, man, I look good, boy. I was like, God.
I'm running like the Hulk on this field. What y'all?
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, nah, cuz I'm still the same dude from high school, man. Ain't
Hey,
nothing
man.
changed. Yeah. Yeah, ain't nothing ever changed, man. I was like, they give me the ball, I score. If not, we lose.
I can say that he has never changed. He has
Right.
never changed.
Consistent.
Yeah.
My man. But you just touched on something, Norfolk, man. So how y'all feel about this game, man? It's a lot of hype building up with this whole Coach Jackson versus Coach Vic joint. Like, is this going to be a new MEAC classic? Like, do we have history? Do y'all remember having history with Norfolk when y'all played them?
We didn't care who we played, so we really didn't have that type rivalry type thing.
Okay.
We like playing Norfolk. We like playing Howard. Well, at least for me, HU. I can't remember a team that we didn't want to play, or we were never scared of any team. Yeah, it was never. The only classic we had was the ones that we would go like to California, to play in or something like that.
Who went to California? Y'all went to California?
Yeah, we went to San Diego and played Norfolk State out there. You was going.
They ain't had it in the budget, dog.
They came for it. The classic
they ain't had it in
the
budget. Yeah. They ain't had it in the budget because the year we went 7-4, we went home. We didn't get no playoff. We ain't do nothing. We went 7-4. We was rolling. We could have. I'm pretty sure we played on some big stages that year. We was rolling.
The season was over at 7-4.
Yep, we was done. They sent us home.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, we was done. But far as the only reason I can't say that it's gonna be a classic or a rivalry, will the coaches stay? So all that stuff, remember, the classics and rivalries come from longevity.
Right.
That doesn't happen anymore.
Like people building those programs.
Right. Yeah. So when you got Eddie Robinson that's been there for 20, 30 years, yeah, you could build a Robinson because now it's like I said, that dude down the street that you race against every day.
Right.
All right, he beat me yesterday. I got to beat him today. I got some new shoes today. I could beat him today. Right. So now the kid's not staying. Because now if I ball out in the MEAC, now I got to go to the next level, right? I'm going to see if I can get that bag at the next level.
That's right.
Even the coaches, hey, he's won all these championships. Let's go get him. Let's go give him $3-5 million because he's not getting paid that in the MEAC. I don't care how much money you got. Why wouldn't you take that? It's not even, like I said, that pride and history thing can only last for so long. I guarantee you right now, like I tell you, if you paying me $250,000 and then saying you're gonna pay me $250 million. Hey, I'm a tap dance, I'm a laugh, I'm a sing.
All the way to the bank.
Yeah, which my man said 50 Cent. Laughing all the way to the bank. Yeah.
And to another point to that, if they start winning, it could be a classic. If the product.
Right.
I feel you.
It'll be a classic.
So now on that, I've noticed black college. Well, I'm gonna say Delaware State. Do they wear football paraphernalia?
That's a good.
That's a great point because another question is, why don't I have football paraphernalia because I haven't been in the bookstore. I went to the bookstore, but it was so packed, I just didn't want to go. But you don't have the same thing in the bookstore as you do online.
It's true. That's true. Especially if we talk about football stuff.
And especially, football stuff. To that question, I don't know that full answer to that question about the football but I would say I don't see enough people with something.
I would say no, unless you do like some specialty order. Because I was in the bookstore for homecoming. And the jersey, it's a basic jersey, and it has the year of the school. So it's like 19 or 18 on one side and 91 on the back. You know what I'm saying? So it's not even like, oh, this is the running back dude. What's his name? Marcus Quill.
Right. Yeah. I've had that discussion too.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I'm like,
not even like, yo, I can buy one of the players' jerseys. I seen something fly like 2 homecomings ago when they first started like putting the tents on the field. I was in there with one of my homies, Hugh, and Hugh had Gerald's jersey.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, yo, where did you get this from? He specially ordered it.
Especially ordered
to have Gerald, Gerald's name. It had Glisten and then his number on the back.
And I don't see why we can't have it, because didn't they just have a collaboration with, was it Nike that they made the shoes?
So. Yeah.
The sneakers?
Yeah.
We have Del State sneakers.
Yeah.
So we just have to get on these collaborations and get this and market.
There you go. Branded, especially now.
Branded.
It's a lot of hype around Del State with D Jack's coaching. We a good record right now, a winning record right now.
This is the best time to do it.
Like we should be capitalizing on this opportunity right now. Like even like some old head dudes, and I had in a previous episode, they was like, why don't we have the state on the side of the helmet no more? Like he said, like that was our thing, to see state on a red helmet. And it's just like, why we don't have that no more?
Right.
Bring that back.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Once again, that longevity, because like Penn State has had the same line forever. Right. So, and that's, like I said, that's where the branding comes in, because I didn't understand why they keep switching the Hornet.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like every 20 years they just switch the Hornet. So it's like, what's the purpose in switching the Hornet?
And I've seen that discussion last week. Which Hornet are you? And then in the comments, most people are like, they're like, I don't even know why we have some. I like the second Hornet.
Yeah. That's us. That's us.
That's us.
Oh, that's our era. Like that 90 to like 2020. When did they change the Hornet?
At least around that. Right. Because like I said, I had the first Hornet. So I was in the transition from DSC to DSU. So I came in 96. They made it officially DSU in 93.
Mm-hmm.
So they was still spinning out. Like I didn't have any shirts with anything. I had all my stuff that had state, because I was football team.
Right.
So I still got my original T-shirt from football, from my original gray.
Nice.
Were you on the team that played Albany State?
The perfect season? Albany?
Was it Albany State? Yeah, the perfect season.
Yeah, I was there.
Okay.
0-11.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was Hofstra. I don't remember Albany.
Oh, it was Hofstra?
Yeah, Hofstra destroyed us.
No, not Albany. I thought it was Portland State or something like that. But okay.
I mean, 0-11. Oh, that's rough.
0-11. Yeah.
Oh, it was. I went crazy that year.
No, I think I was talking about the ones when they wore the all blue, and they didn't wear that blue jerseys anymore.
No, that was late 80s or 90s. Yeah. Cause that was against Youngstown. They got beat by 100.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, no, I know the quarterback. So I met the quarterback, Ray. He was the quarterback when they beat him and beat Del State. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but no, I'm bringing back that gray. That blue. Cause I'm gonna take credit. I put the black in the Del State. I put the black in the jersey. So if I could put the black in, I'm gonna put that powder blue in there. Cause I always like that new Houston Oilers jersey, the one Warren Moon used to wear. I always like that. So I got some jerseys like that coming.
Okay.
Man,
but it's a matter of, once again, matter of marketing and branding. But that's, once again, higher ups of saying, hey, what do we want our school? And once again, unfortunately, I've been in meetings where it's a mental separation of not everybody's a Hornet, is what the lady said out of her mouth. And I said, what? Everybody I know around here that's graduated from Michigan, they're Spartans. They will tell you they're Spartans. And they've never touched the football field or sport.
Till the day they die.
They're Spartans. So if you went to Delaware State, you're a Hornet.
Hornet for life.
So I was like, what do you mean? Why do you keep separated? And that's the mindset. And I'm pretty sure that's how it's always been. Because you'll hear, hey, well, we don't have enough scholarships. Where they sending the money then? They's putting the money, so they do a pool and allocate it. Hey, we're going to give some here, we're going to give some here, we're going to give some here. And I'm like, that's not going to work.
People not invested. That's what it sounds like.
No.
You just invested, and that's sad. That's a travesty, yo.
Well, once again, like I said, just far as leadership, and I've been on different boards probably since 2008, because I started my endowment. So once I started my endowment, people kept bringing me in different places. So I've just been listening. But it's, nobody want to say, this is what we need to do to make money. Give me money. Please give me money. Give me money. Instead of saying, okay, how do we make this place a jewel,
Right.
and that people want to come here. And people, not just a walk on or just happenstance. Well, I should have went here and Del State gave me some money. Like that, unfortunately, I've heard that story more than being recruited. Like, I didn't know Coop was recruited for all three. You know what I mean? Because it was like, I know that everybody was on partials. Like, it was 100 people on partials. Like, half the team was on partials. And I'm like, when I got there, Coach Collick was there. We had 100 people on the sideline. The fire department used to come. The police department was there. We had a motorcycle gang. Like, the stadium was full, and we weren't even winning. But he had branded us.
Right.
My freshman year, he took me across to McDonald's to sign autographs. I don't know what's going on. He told me, put a jersey on, and I'm standing there, and kids would come up to me and ask me to sign. They had no clue. That's marketing. So I already told him, I think even with Rod, I said, Rod, take your smartest athletes and send them to the high schools and elementary schools to read to the kids in their jerseys. 30 minutes, an hour. You'll be surprised on how much that's going to affect the next generation of kids. Oh, they came to our school. At 5th grade, you know how exciting that is to see this big grown man come in a football jersey?
Exactly.
Oh, he read to me.
Spend time with me, right.
And it's going to play over and over. You know what? I want to go to Delaware State because too many of the greatest talents are leaving the state. So, because then the other part is, I think it was a kid they had up in Wilmington, and they didn't even recruit him. I said, do you understand how many butts he would have brought down here and put in them seats who would have bought tickets? Like, but if you don't have that mindset, and like I said, and I've only seen a little bit, Mr. Strong, Jimmy Strong, who does the Hall of Fame, he been doing this since 76. And I'm like, dog, you strong, your name fit. Because a couple times I just wanted to slap a few people. I'm like, that don't even make sense, man. But, it is what it is. I still love my school.
Man. So before we shut out, man, if you could think back to your DSU days, the young Coop, the young Darnarian on the yard, dreaming big, what would you do differently? Or what advice would you pass on to the next Coop, to the next Darnarian?
I'll go first. I would just say there's no regrets. Do it bigger, do it faster, do it stronger, and do it to your best of your ability. That's all I would say.
For me, I'm gonna take what Dante Jones gave to me. He said, life is what you make it. So my junior year, I was ready to quit because I went from playing to starting to not playing. And I had never been in that position. So for me, anytime Darnarian came into town, I was taking jobs. So I went to 3 different high schools. So I'll just tell whoever was in my position that they weren't gonna have a job by the time I finished. So that's what I was kind of used to. So now seeing the power of these coaches moving me out of my position, I'm like, he's not better than me. He's not better than me. He sucks. How's he on the field? But you don't got me in for what reason? And nobody ever explained it to me. Cool. So that statement of life is what you make it changed my perspective because it was like, okay, I'm not here to play football anyway. I'm here to get my degree because that's what I told my mother. I said, I'm going to Delaware State to get my degree and I'm not coming back. At no point in time did I say, hey, I'm going to Delaware State to go to the NFL. That was never a part of my program. So getting back on my path is what you want out of it, go get it. And Coach Brown, you want some, get some. You bad enough, take some. So all that stuff started to play in my head. It's a great day to be alive. All that's from Delaware State. You know what I mean? And then as young brothers, as we started growing up and brothers was dying off at 36, 38, 40, 42. And I'm like, no, it's a great day to be alive. I can't complain about nothing. Dealing with these kids at the special education and stuff that they got to go through. No, I was loved. I might not have liked a whole bunch of stuff. People love Darnarian. And I can't cry or complain about nothing because nobody put me in a football game. Are you serious?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm crying because I can't play football. But somebody don't have a food. You know what I mean? Somebody don't have a house.
Come on.
You know what I mean? Somebody don't have parents. So, no, I got my parents. My parents still living, biological. Shoot, grandma's still kicking. You know what I mean? You know, so no, I can't complain about a daggone thing. My life has been great.
Oh, that's dope, man. That's powerful, man. That's powerful. From Dover to the NFL, from football to art. That's a full circle story, man. I appreciate y'all jumping on, fellas, man.
Thanks for having me.
Dude, man, appreciate it. So, all right. This is another episode of Bear and Burgers. Remember, it's not just about what you did, but it's how you made people feel. So we'll catch you the next time. Peace.